I don't know if she wants me to say her name, so I'm just gonna call her Kelly. Sent us. She's one of our viewers, and she said she sent me some screenshots, and she said, I'm quite honestly shocked that nobody has ever brought this up, which I don't know if anybody has. I mean, we could be looking at something that people have already brought up, but she says, hello, I'm shocked. No one has seen this. Definitely two types of shoes, and the one with the white shoes has a white emblem on the t-shirt on his right arm. So she's taking us back to this footage here. Let me get it up on the screen. She's taking us and guys, over here, you guys can have all, like, I accept all opinions. You don't have to believe what I believe, and I don't have to believe what you believe. It's always just a conversation, because I just don't think you can 100% know that she did it. I mean, look at what we're doing even with Chris Watts. I mean, look, everything he said, and we're still questioning it. So I think it's okay to have differing opinions here, and I hope that you guys are cool with that too.
Agreed. I think that's called adulting. And as I get more and more of doing these live streams, I'm noticing that there's drama, with this case. So I'm the same way with you, Amy. I'm open to your opinion, and I respect anyone's comments, questions, as long as they're not being mean towards each other, in the comment section.
And I can sound very sure of myself, you guys. I can, because that's just who I am. But in the next breath, I could be like, you could show me something, and I could be like, oh yeah, I see that, and change my mind. So, or I'll say things like, you should do this, and I literally never think anybody should do anything they don't want to do. It's just like I'm saying, this is my opinion, Right. But I never believe that you should believe how I believe.
Yep, just
it's good to know you're the same way.
Absolutely.
Yes, Jamie says, I've learned to question everything at this point. Exactly. Okay, so she's taking us back to this footage. This is the nosy footage from the garage camera footage. This is the night where Chris was walking back and forth repeatedly from the garage. He pulls his truck up. Let me get it up to where he's walking back and forth. Oops, there's music. Let me take the music off. We will put the links to everything that we view down in the show notes. Let me speed it up too.
Sure. I have a hard time with a lot of the footage out there, where people say they can see her walking. And the reason I do is because I requested these videos myself from doing a Freedom of Information Act request. And I have slowed them down myself. I have brightened it up myself. And in the video I am not seeing these things. So I do feel there are pieces in this case that have leaked out that have been edited. And I see where people are taking clips and making it where you can see a body walking. But when I look at my own video given to me by the Frederick, Colorado Police Department, I'm not seeing what they're seeing, if that makes sense.
Yes, we're going to, before we take a look at the photos, we are going to, I have some things put up from some various channels. This would be one of the ones that you're talking about. Okay. This is, and also these are channels that I'm pretty unfamiliar with, so I'm not supporting them, and I'm not doing, I'm just showing you their content, and I will put the link down in the show notes so that you can go and go to the channel and visit it and make your own choices and look at the videos. Today we're coming to you on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hi everybody, be sure to give us a thumbs up, a like, a love, however you're doing it on the platform you're viewing us today. But this is Miss Jade, and she has a video. Who is she? So you can see they have taken it and they've blown it up. in actually seeing this, I actually see the ponytail here.
I
This is
do.
like the first time I've ever seen the ponytail. So I don't know if it's one of those altered. And Miss Jade, if you're watching, I
Right.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I
That
actually do see the
Jade,
ponytail here.
right. And I'm not saying that Jade or any of these people who, are posting this are the ones editing, the content. I think they're just sharing it just like you and I are. But I'm telling you, these same time codes, I'm slowing down and I am not seeing this on the Frederick, Colorado
Well,
video.
we'll have to. I don't have it prepared, so I can't do it for you now. But we'll have to do that,
Yeah, the side
and
by side. Yeah.
we'll see. But let's play it and see. I don't know. Okay, so
To my video. So this is a video that I had
it's
told some people I was going to upload for them. Now in this video, it shows
it's playing,
some
so it's just going to take a
photos
moment
of
for her to walk out, I
CCTV
guess.
the morning that he was seen loading his family's
Because I don't
possessions.
hear anything.
I
Oh
can
wait, there it goes.
kind of just
Oh, you
describe.
do?
My
Yeah.
opinion, of course, but I
Why
do
can't I hear
believe
it?
that it's a
I don't
female.
know. Rob had the
In this
same
case,
issue
for
a
you
couple weeks
to
ago.
decide.
That's really interesting. You can't hear it, but I can.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope
But
it's
I'll
well.
tell you, yeah, when she's
I don't need to hear it. What is she saying?
she's kind of
Or
just describing, I said I would do a video like this, and
In slow motion.
she's
okay,
going to come out in slow motion.
okay. I'm gonna just play it then.
And
Yeah, I'll let you know when she
you wanna
finishes
see
talking.
what I see, and I'll play it for you a couple of times.
And she's going to play it a few times for us to watch. Okay, so yeah, that looks like her. And I'm not going to lie. Yes, it looks like she's got the purse
She's
um,
yeah, in the ponytail right
that
there.
she's wearing in the interview with Frederick Police. But I'm just going to be honest. You could alter this. I mean, like, this stuff happens. Because I want to see it. I want to see it in the video I have.
I want to pause it, show you exactly where I see a really
Even the walking is different. It's just I even like we were talking about, I don't know if it was you or Rose, with the funeral, and I wanted to see how she walked, but she's even waddling kind of like how she walked at the funeral. This is kind of a waddle walk.
Yeah, she does have a unique walk, doesn't she?
She
I mean,
does.
I can
her,
see
yeah.
her hair is slicked back into a ponytail.
I saw this video too. That Truth Untold did, Nichol Kessinger walking out of the garage. Now, I don't know if you watch any paranormal videos, but this is a new contraption that they've been using in paranormal videos that, hold on, I lost my place where I was at, that they do where it measures your gait.
Okay.
Oh, more music. Hold on.
Now that's interesting to me because with MS and everything too, we have our own unique gait and walk.
Mhm.
So this is
Mhm.
interesting.
So the way men and women walk are different. This has music, so there's subtle differences between a man and a woman's walk, which is true. And I've like watched walking videos before because I'm really into Bigfoot, and I've watched those videos of Bigfoot walking and its gait, and it's different than a man's walk. Is this still music? Yeah, still music. These differences are referred to as a person's gait. I've said it. I just said gait a few times. Oops.
Amy, could you imagine being a part of a case where people are literally making videos about the way you walk? Like,
No, I can't.
dissecting it down.
Dude,
So
I have a weird walk. I have a weird walk
well, I
because
do too. Yeah.
I mean, but I've always had a weird walk because I should have had braces on my feet when I was younger. Like my
Mhm.
cousins had it. so that my knees didn't turn in, and it's not like horrible and people don't like stare at me, but when I was younger I got made fun of for it, and it just I'm really self-conscious about it, so I cannot imagine somebody doing a gait video
Yeah.
for me.
But that's all because, you know, everyone is just so trying to connect the dots because none of it makes sense.
Yeah, I thought that was Carol. I thought that was weird too, because you know that they did test runs and they were moving the truck all over the neighborhood, so just to figure out where the cameras were before this, or Chris was to figure out where the cameras were. So I think it's very strange that she would just be walking back and forth too.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, Amy, because, you know, when one of the days he met her, he told no, it was Nate told investigators he saw Chris go to the side of the house and come out and walk to go meet Nichol. And he knew that was odd, that he didn't just walk out of his garage to go where he was going, or he didn't walk out the front door. And Nate mentally took a note of it, but also was kind of like, I'm going to stay out of your business, right? Like, I'm not getting the guy in trouble. But later he brought that up to investigators, you know, a couple weeks ago. I think it was like 2 weeks after August 13th. He said, I saw him come out the fence line, which usually he doesn't do, and he just took a mental note of it. So many interesting pieces, like, you know, Betty in the neighborhood noted seeing a car with the camper. I mean, so many observant people in this case.
And I mean, what if he did have an accomplice, but it wasn't NK, it was just somebody else.
And it was interesting too when he was being investigated, and Tammy Lynn said, I want you to give me examples of how you could, you know, do something to someone. And I mean, almost he comes up with all of these examples, but the last one is strangle, right? The last one that you did is the one you did. You know, he's like, you could make a trap, you could hire someone, you could, you know, it's like he's avoiding saying one of the most important factors in the case.
I literally would not play those games in an interrogation. I'd be like, ugh, what does that even mean?
Yeah, she said she wanted him to know that I want to know what your thoughts of having involvement is. Kind of like the same thing we were just talking about what is your example of a dark thing, because she could ask Chris on the polygraph, was Nichol into dark things? And in Chris's mind, he thinks doing yoga is dark, then he's going to be telling the truth, when in reality, it's, you know.
Oh, it's definitely an interrogation technique to try to get into their mind. Because I've heard like they ask those questions to try to see what motions they make, you know, to see if they were strange. It's just they do these things to try to get into their heads, but also try to figure out the crime itself. But I think I watch too much true crime. And also I'm an ex-social worker. So, you know, how many tests have I administered where you ask the same question 50 different ways? Like, I know what's going on in a test. So, you know, it's hard to unlearn those things.
I got to say, you know, after watching a lot of these videos back, I never noticed before how much of an awkward silence, and it's a tactic that FBI agents use in interrogation, is awkward silence can often make that person start divulging information because the silence alone is killing them. And if you go back and listen to the interrogation room, you can hear that clock ticking, like boom, 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 you know, like it is just, you can tell it's making Chris uncomfortable, and he's just divulging anything that can come out of his mouth.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, Chris is very uncomfortable with his own self. I can't even imagine. He was probably pooping his pants in there.
Oh,
I mean, he was eating his earwax, so
ugh,
stuff was going down.
pizza.
And Sherry Kate, you're right. I mean, I say that to myself. I put rationality into the irrational. I think we're all trying to put rationality into an irrational situation. So men and women have different gaits. Men have a larger stride and walk than women do. The morning of the murders, Chris Watts was captured on a neighbor's CCTV. So this is more of the clip. Do you see a man, Chris, or do you see a woman? So this was the first person that we see walking back and forth. And this was a motion detector, so it only was triggered when there was motion.
I feel like it's the same walk.
Yeah.
Whoever it is.
Okay. That is a different person.
Yeah. And I've tried to brighten my video to see this clip, and I don't see it. And I'm not using videos, from the internet. These are videos I actually requested, from Frederick.
Well, I want to pop over to where Kelly sent us the pictures. Let me see how I can make this. How do you make? All right. So she sent us these pictures, and how do you make this a full screen? I don't know how to make.
It's so hard for me to see.
Oh, wait, there. Okay, so you see over in the corner here, she did circle what she wants us to look at. So what we're looking at here in the corner are the shoes. So we see these white tennis shoes, right?
Yep.
We can agree that they're white tennis shoes. We see white tennis shoes, and then all of a sudden, boots.
Correct.
Why do we all of a sudden have boots? And we saw this in the video that we were just looking at. This one, we see the walking back and forth. We see the white shoes. And then when they lighten it, boots. All of a sudden, boots. When did he change into boots? I don't remember him ever. I don't remember anyone talking about him changing into boots. Do you?
No, and that's why I do feel that people are altering this footage. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it sent me down this rabbit hole, so now we're gonna have to go down the rabbit hole and do some more, because
now
this
what I'm
is
doing
boots.
is looking up to see what kind of shoes Nichol was wearing with her police interview. Now I'm going
These
back.
are boots. And they were tennis shoes.
Is that a man or a woman to you?
I think this one is Chris Watts in the boots.
Agreed.
And I think that whoever's wearing the tennis, I don't know.
But it also kind of has like a feminine touch to it too, like the skinny leg, but it also could be because the camera is so far back. But now I'm going to see what kind of shoes she wore to go talk to the police.
Oh yeah.
It was like the third interview where it's not the roundtable discussion, it's the one where she is alone with an agent. Now I want to know, because in that interview you also see she's got her purse with her. So now I have to go down the rabbit hole and look at that.
Yeah, and I've got to pull up her walking. We've got to get the walking because people have said that she walked in one of the interrogations. She walked in, and then we've got to get the walking of her at the funeral if we're going to do this. This is just part one, I guess, because if we're going to go down this rabbit hole.
I know. And so now I'm pulling up that video.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll say hi to. I'll talk
she's
to
wearing
people.
white tennis shoes. And I'm gonna are you have access to email right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna email this to you.
Okay.
She is wearing white tennis shoes when she's talking to police.
Rena says hi. I think she was there. Old boots for the morning project and new boots after completion. I do know that he did have he was wearing his old clothes that morning.
And he threw them away. You know, something that always sticks out to me that is just really heartbreaking. So he admitted he threw his clothes away after in a dumpster over by the house. And they kept asking Chris, like, what did you do with the stuffed animal? And what did you do with the blanket that, you know, you hurt them with? I'm going to just use the word hurt, you guys, to avoid getting nicked. And he said, I can't remember. Well, he probably threw it away with the rest of his clothes. And just like, how heartless can you? I mean, it just doesn't get, I mean, the whole thing is horrible. But the fact that you just like threw away their stuffies and their blankets, like, you know, I know what he did to them is horrible too, but, you know, like driving back after he did that, he just threw it away, you know, no guilt, nothing.
Yeah, workers said they had never seen him like that before. And also, I don't think she's a NK sympathizer. I think she just wants to get to the bottom of it. I guess you could say, yeah, maybe I'm a sympathizer too, because I don't know if she did it or not. Like I always say that I 90% think that she didn't do it, that there's 10% of me that thinks she did. But I mean, I just don't know. And I don't think not knowing and saying you don't know, it makes you a sympathizer. So.
And Sherry, I respect your opinion. You know, you can think that. I am just the type of person, like, I am fact driven. I would hope you would expect that from me being a former journalist, that I'm not going to give you information that's swayed in any way to believe me or not believe me, and just give you facts. And unfortunately, I wish I had the answers, and I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to look at this at both sides. I'm trying to look at it as, could it be a woman who is really that dark and did this, or could it be a woman who just made some really bad decisions getting involved with a psychopath?
Well, Sharon's been with us for a long time, so I'm sure she knows that she's open-minded to all of that. So.
I'm new to you guys too.
Yeah, you're new to Sharon, so
yeah.
I was just trying to explain who you were to Sharon. Okay. Sharon knows who we are, and we love her. Okay, guys. So what do you guys think? Do you think that this is NK? I had some other things.
Check out your email. I just sent you that.
Oh, also, I wanted to. Oh, yeah, you're sending me something.
Yeah.
Also, when doing this, did you know that Nate had another camera? I never knew Nate had two cameras. Did you know that?
Yes, and they didn't ask him for more footage. Like,
yeah.
What? And
why?
There was a neighbor across the street who also had a camera, and they didn't ask for that footage either. Michelle G says, yes, she was there.
Where does everyone stand on check the knives comments to NA from? Oh, yeah.
I'll let you go first.
Well, if I'm being truthful, there's some shady, weird stuff that went on the recheck side too. And on, like, I thought that was an odd comment. And I also think another weird thing was Nicole Atkinson's asking if she was going to be arrested. I think that was a weird comment too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know what to think about it, to be honest. I think there's things on both sides that we're not aware of, that we're just not aware of.
sure. I mean, did she mean it in check the knives because Shanann could have harmed herself, or check the knives because did Shanann use a knife to take on an attacker? And I don't have the answer to that because I don't know, some of the history of why Sandy would say that.
I don't know. I can't. Sandy's a hard one to read, in my opinion. Uh, sh- she's hard to read because there were weird, like she said that she called the school that day too, but she had no idea she was missing. So why would she call the school?
Yeah, I think Sandy has some intuition gifts for sure.
She must.
Yeah,
Sandy has a near death experience. And I think when that happens, people come back with some stuff, like with some gifts. And she
yeah.
must, because
Well, she woke up and she said on Dr. Phil that she woke up and she thought something was wrong with Shanann. She woke up everyone in the house. And I would love to ask her if I ever had the opportunity, did you text Shanann or did you call? Because like I'm so close to my mom that I think if she woke up in the middle of the night and had that panic feeling, she might just shoot me a text and be like, I just had a nightmare. Are you okay? So I'm curious if Sandy
I think that's the
reached
thing.
out or not.
I think that's the thing, that Sandy never called her. Like that was a weird thing. Like, if she had those intuitions, why did she not call Shanann? Why did she call the school instead?
And maybe she has a little bit of guilt for that if I would have called, would things be different? But I think Frank and Frankie tried to calm her down and be like, everything's fine, she's okay. Like you can kind of see in the interview that she was in a panic, but they kind of chilled her out to relax. But if the experience was that intense, which it sounded like it was, would she not just shoot her a text and be like, are you okay? I was thinking about you
Yeah.
this morning, I just want to make sure you're okay.
And they talked so much. I mean, but I didn't know this either. I didn't know that Ronnie was in on it just as much as the Rucheks, talking to the girls every day and being
Face.
in touch. I mean, that's just like
And I
sweet.
that's where if someone wants me to say like a Watts sympathy, or I have sympathy for the Watts family, I'm going to be honest, I do. When I look at everything I do see two grandparents that were very involved with their children's lives and that they loved them. Did people make some stupid mistakes by um, going against their mother's wishes of having things in the house that they shouldn't have? Yep. But also, sometimes an older generation doesn't always believe in allergies or, what have you. And I can't speak to her opinion on it, but Ronnie loved those girls. And he FaceTimed them every day that he could. And he was constantly on Facebook liking or commenting on Shanann's posts. So my heart does go out to that family.
I do feel sorry for the Watts. At first, I was like, in the beginning, seeing the way they behaved, I thought it was horrible. But I feel like we're too judgmental as a society. I don't want to be judged, so therefore I'm not gonna sit there and judge somebody on the way they behave when they lose their granddaughters and grandson. And even if you didn't like our daughter-in-law, and let's be honest, she didn't like her, they didn't like her, but it was still part of your family. And yeah, and they said horrible things, but and I think having her as a mother-in-law was probably a nightmare. And I think that having her as a nightmare, probably Shanann probably did do things to push her buttons, and it was a back and forth type of deal, and it was probably just best if they all parted ways, but that didn't happen. So I do feel bad for the Watts though. And the Watts would be, if I could interview anybody, well, if I could anybody, I think I definitely would interview Chris, just because. But if I could interview anybody besides that, it would be the Watts. I'd be very interested in what they have to say.
Behind the barn, there's a thicket, and if you listen, like